Let's bring in now Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. Kosha, great to see you again. Look, Trump is set to announce the Liberation Day tariffs. What are any chances? What is the chances that he gives Australia an exemption?
Feels pretty slim to none, I would say, Sharri. Anything is always possible with Trump, but he is really steadfast in the principle and the policy that he is going after, though controversial it may be. Tariffs at this scale have not been tried in really to this measure in the last century. Certainly people are divided about it on both sides of the political aisle, but he very strongly believes it. And I think in the scheme of that big picture, carve-outs are not necessarily likely, though maybe given that Australia does run a trade surplus, there might be something in there, but I wouldn't hold our breath.
Kosha, I think it's so interesting that we're seeing all these polls saying that Australians are against Trump. It's even entered the election campaign. And yet in the US, even CNN polls say that the president's popularity has never been higher.
He indeed is very, very popular. And, you know, we've been talking about this comeback story in general. I think that's what undergirds his entire political career, with where he came from after 2020 to now. We obviously know how he did in the election, winning the popular vote, first time in 40 years that that's happened, all 7 swing states and all the rest of it. And he's just so much more organized at affecting his agenda. There have been some snafus with the signal thing and other things, but for the most part, it's been a pretty flawless 68 days, I think, by now, and that is showing through in the polls. It will not last forever. He's certainly sort of in that honeymoon period for now, but it does show that he just is really the man of the moment right now in the U.S., and by and large, people do agree with his policy agenda.
Yeah, it's fascinating, just that disconnect in how he's perceived. Look, this Democrat, Cory Booker, set an insane record, speaking an anti-Trump tirade for 25 hours. He was on his feet. He said he'd remain there for as long as he was physically able to. Let's have a quick look.
When is it going to be enough? My voice is inadequate. My efforts today are inadequate to stop what they're trying to do. But we, the people, are powerful. We are strong.
I just want to tell you a question. Do you know you have just broken the record? Do you know how proud this caucus is of you? Do you know how proud America is of you?
My friend, Madam President, I yield the floor.
I mean, he thinks he should get some award for bagging the president for a record-breaking time. It's seriously deranged.
Yes, so, you know, he was invoking this mechanism in the U.S. Senate, the filibuster. It wasn't technically a filibuster, but basically that the principle behind it is it allows minority representation, people that are not in the majority right now, like the Democrats, to air their grievances and dissenting opinions on an issue. However, it has morphed into, I think, much more of a personal political platform for a lot of people. He broke the record. The previous record was held by a senator in 1957, 24 hours and 5 minutes. He broke that, and maybe that's what he's after, where he will now forever go down in the history books as the person who did that and sort of got his moment in fame. We're all talking about it, and probably that was behind it, I think, more so than expressing a dissenting opinion to some policy agenda.
Meanwhile, we hear Kamala Harris is coming to Australia. Kosha, what's she doing here?
So interesting, because she has really been laying low after her defeat in the election. But there's been some rumblings where she signed with CAA, the preeminent talent agency in the world, and that usually signals that she's gearing up to go on the speaking tour. And often these people who are former presidents or vice presidents, even if they lost, even if they weren't that successful politically, can command big fees. So it looks like one of her coming out things is going to be this real estate conference in the Gold Coast, and it's been known to bring in big names, international names in the past. So they're probably paying a pretty penny for her, and she's going to come here and talk real estate, which will be interesting.
I mean, pretty penny. She'd probably be charging, you think, somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million. I mean, they can earn a lot of money on these speaking circuits. But Kosha, who wants to go see her?
That's the thing. I think there's going to be lots of memes of her, you know, talking the way she does about issues rather simplistically or reductively. And I think you're right. Her fee is going to be anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 US. So it's maybe a draw card, the novelty factor, if nothing else. And I think it's going to make a lot of international news, for better or for worse.
No, indeed. All right, Kosha Gada, thank you so much for joining us. And